So Sony is stopping the physical production of games on the PlayStation starting in 2028. This is horrible, horrible news for physical media fans everywhere. It's horrible news for preservation. It's horrible news for consumers. Normally I like to sugarcoat things at least a little bit and tell people the sort of gold silver lining or whatever of news like this, and there's no good news about this because this is just another thing in a long line of news stories that are basically killing physical video games. So yeah, I know you're not clicking on this video to hear more about this, but Sony today announced in a PlayStation blog post, in response to shifting trends in consumer preference, new games will be released only on PlayStation Store and at retailers in digital formats only. So with this news combined with the fact that GTA 6 is going to only be digital, no, there will not be any physical copies other than the digital code in a box, which is kind of a slap in the face to a consumer. But this means that starting in 2028, that PlayStation consoles will not have physical games any longer. Now, I don't know if this means that someone like Limited Run Games won't be able to make physical games for the PlayStation 5, but for the most part, the mainstream line of games for the PlayStation 6, 5, whatever the hell you want to call it that's coming up, will not be physical. Microsoft, you might think, okay, cool, hey, they see that there's this anti-consumer behavior going on, right? Shouldn't they step in and say, hey guys, we're going to have physical games, don't you worry? No, they're not going to have physical games either, because there's a new report out today that the Xbox Project Helix will not have a physical disc drive. So, physical gaming is going the way of PC gaming. This has happened already before. We had beautiful big box editions that looked like these physical media box sets behind me for PC games in the 90s and early 2000s, and then suddenly the well dried up. Steam took over, and I know we all love Steam and Valve as a company, but yeah, the digital space took over. PC gaming is all digital now. There's no physical releases of PC games any longer. This just means that this is basically where video games is going. Nintendo, they still have physical releases for their games on game key cards and stuff like that, which are partially bad. They have full physical releases on there as well, but they do have those game key cards. And this is just, it's a troubling direction for anti-consumer behavior for these companies because they realize, one, if there's no used games, they can charge you $70, $80, $90, $100 or whatever the hell they want, and you're going to buy it. Two, they can take that license away at any point. They really can. Sony just did this on their PlayStation Store with about 500 movies. People just had the licenses taken away. So when you ask me, and people go in the comments and they go, Hunter, why do you care about owning all of these things physically? Who cares? Just have it on a hard drive or whatever. This is why. This is why. Because owning your movies without censorship, without changes that are huge to the movie or the game, that's the reason why. It's not because I want to have this thing that behind me that I can walk in here and stare at. That's really nice, obviously. But it's about owning something and having it physically in your hand. Having something that's tangible in your hand that you can put in at any point. At any point, you can pop it into your Blu-ray player, your video game console, whatever, and you can play whatever the heck or watch whatever the heck it is. So that, at its heart here, is the problem. And Sony doing this, it's just another thing in a long line of anti-consumer behavior from Sony. Sony likes to play themselves off with the PlayStation brand because it's the most popular and it seemingly has the biggest fanboys out there. At the end of the day, this isn't a fanboy thing. This isn't I've bought every Xbox console since the first one, so now I'm going to rag on PlayStation. I've owned every PlayStation console since the PlayStation 1 as well. This is just strictly anti-consumer behavior. Here's the timeline. I'll drop it down on you what they want. They want you to, one, not own anything. They don't want you to own anything physically. They want to have the option to take it away, to change it, to do whatever. And then they don't want you to have any physical hardware. They don't want you to have a graphics card that's badass that can play whatever the heck you want. They don't want you to have that console sitting in your living room. Or they want you to have that console sitting in your living room that's attached to a subscription like NVIDIA GeForce or something like that now, where you play your game on a GPU that's somewhere else in a data center or whatever that you're paying for by the minute, whatever. You remember those old hotel TVs where you paid to play a Nintendo 64 game by the minute and your parents yelled at you for doing it? That's what they want out of this. That is exactly what they want. Everything today is a subscription, whether that's streaming, whether that's video games now, food, groceries. They want you to pay a subscription for this. And that's awful. It's terrible. And I know there's going to be people that are going to say, oh, well, whatever, who cares about physical games? Who cares about physical stuff? It's a niche market for people that are old and don't care and don't know what's up with the new hot stuff. No, it's not a niche market. It's not. There are tons of people out there that still play their video games physically, that still go to used game stores. This is going to kill GameStop. Unless they want to start selling digital codes in their store, who the hell cares? Why would I walk in to grab a digital code when you can just get it? But why, you can walk in and get a physical game that you own. That's why this is important. So it's disappointing. It's angering. It makes me frustrated today to see not only just this news from PlayStation, but the news from Microsoft. It's awful. And considering that the gaming space is already dying enough as it is because these AAA games get released and no one buys them because games take 10 years to make now, and they pump millions and billions of dollars into them, these live service games, it's troubling. As a fan of physical media, as a fan of video games, as a fan of retro video games, kids are going to have to learn, hey, those older games, they're not gross and icky anymore. Those are the games that you can play now. Those are the games that you own. So next time you go to your local used video game store, even a freaking GameStop, enjoy it. Because it might not be there for very, very much longer. So yeah, what do you think of this? What do you think of Sony and their anti-consumer changing of the guard here with getting rid of physical discs in 2028, Microsoft releasing their next console without a disk drive? I don't think this is going to affect Blu-ray discs for physical media because there's a lot of demand for that, more so demand, I would guess, than for physical video games. I'm not sure, but I don't think this affects that, and hopefully it never will. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think of this, guys, and it's a dark day for physical media fans.